Well, traders, once again, welcome. Glad to have you here with us for the webinar. We're going to talk about how to copy the trades of the pros and get paid to trade. Just a couple hours a day is really all you need. So we're going to be looking into that. Good to see we've got traders from all over, a lot of futures day traders, which is great. Swing trading a little bit there. That's awesome. So welcome. Glad to have you here. How many of you, this is your first webinar with NeuroStreet or any of our companies and never been to a webinar with us before? Just give me a new in the chat box for this. Yeah, first time. Tim, welcome. Always like to be the first to welcome you to our community. That's awesome. A lot of new faces. Welcome. You'll notice that we kind of try to do things a little differently. For these events, I like to think of it as we're, a bunch of traders kind of hanging out and just talking trading, right? So it's kind of the focus and approach of these events. So hopefully that comes as a breath of fresh air. I'm pretty easygoing. And so anyway, so perfect. Well, welcome. As you know, we can't guarantee results. I would love to be able to, but I just can't. I don't have a crystal ball or magic potion or anything of the sort. Can't guarantee anything. What I can tell you is that we can help you with education. So our products and services are for educational purposes. We've helped thousands of traders, and we're just getting warmed up. Um, we, you know, we're here in hypothetical performance and all that stuff. So go ahead and read through that briefly. I'm going to pour myself a glass of water here so I can clear my throat. Perfect. You guys read it all top to bottom? Probably not. That's okay. But basically what you need to know, we can't advise you on what to trade, where to trade, when to trade, how much to trade. That is entirely up to you. Okay. So what is it that you want out of trading? Always like to start with this just to set a precedence of, why we're here, why we do what we do, and what we can do to help traders. I think it's important to start with remembering why we got into the industry in the first place. A lot of times we kind of get lost in the shuffle of trading, and we think about all the other stuff that's really it's important, but not always as important as the real reason we are here, which is to make money. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't been wrong on that one yet. So, we can look at things like consistency and winning days and less drawdown, reduced time to success, shorter workday, all these things, belief in ability and choose your lifestyle. All that stuff's incredible. But the reality is those are things that we strive for. But what really got us into trading in the first place is that we wanted to make more money in less time. That's my clock. It's about as good as it gets, folks. More money, less time. So, and we'll even, we'll make these little hands, big hands. Okay, there we go. So we got into trading because we had this idea that we could make 8 to 10 hour money, right, in 1 to 2 hours a day. That was the allure of trading, right? That's why we all got into it. It's why I got into it. You mean to tell me I can work 1 to 2 hours a day and make endless supplies of money? Count me in. I'm in. And then I saw the charts and got hooked, right? Just like everybody else. You see everything, you're like, man, this is awesome. I want to do this. The unfortunate part for most traders is that these numbers are very, very much skewed in the sense that traders are spending a lot of time and not making money. They're spinning their wheels, they're not getting ahead. Maybe they'll make some money for a little bit and then they give it back. And they make some money for a little bit and give it back. It's usually stair step up, elevator down, stair step up, elevator down, right? That's usually what most traders succumb to, and that's the challenge of trading, and that is what we look to overcome, right? We want to get back to the idea that we can make money in less time. So when we look at getting ahead in trading, the biggest thing that we face as traders is fear. Everybody says fear and greed. No, it's fear. It's fear, because what is greed? Greed is the fear of loss, right? Fear of loss, which is fear. Everything boils down to fear. What are we afraid of? What are we so afraid of in trading? We're afraid of pain. And the reason that we are afraid of pain is it's literally hard coded into our natural responses. It is to avoid us getting eaten by a predator, right? That's why we go, oh, that's going to suck. If I get eaten by that predator, I'm going to get hurt, probably going to die. Not so good. So when it comes to trading, this can really hold us back in trading. How do we get to the point where we can acknowledge the fear to be sensible, but overcome the fear to that it doesn't hold us back in our trading? A point in case, and I was even talking about it today in the trade room. I was taking a trade and I moved my target up and literally said, now I am moving this target up partially because of fear that I'm going to come down into this area and it's going to come down, hit this level, turn around, and I'm going to get no profit on the trade. So I moved my stop to break even pretty early on in that trade. But as it started coming, it kind of, came down, hit the level that I thought, started pulling back. I moved stop to break even to, eliminate the risk. As it started coming back down, I was like, I'm just going to take profit because I have a suspicion that this is going to come all the way back up and hit break even, and I don't want to take that loss. So there's sort of two different fears in that situation. It's the fear that I'm not going to get paid and I'm going to make no money. Then what's the worst case scenario? If I get out with profit, the market may continue to run and I'm leaving money on the table. That's the downside. The downside, if I don't take profit, is that the market comes all the way back and hits me at break even. So what's the lesser of two evils in that situation? I was literally calling this out in the trade room this morning. The lesser of two evils for me at this point in time on that particular trade, based on what was happening here, which, by the way, was tons of liquidity. My thought was, I'm taking that money. Now, mind you, it all goes into a decision process based on what has already happened for the day. I was already in one trade and it wasn't going anywhere. There's a chance I was going to take a stop out on that trade. I had one trade that I had made money on. So in this case, it was like, all right, these were, assuming I get stopped out, it's going to be a wash. And so just take the money. And what happened? It kept going and it hit, would have hit my original target. So did I make the wrong decision? No, I made the right decision at that point in time based on those situations. So, but that is a fear-driven decision. If I'm trading 100% mechanical, then I don't take profit early. I would just leave it as is. Either I'm going to take a break even or I'm going to take the win. That is the difference between trading as a human, which, by the way, can be a good thing if you harness it correctly, versus trading as a robot, which you want to have a good blend of each, which is something that we teach. How do you take the best of both cases where you have rules-based trading, but you can also make common sense decisions that don't hinder you in the long run, right? Yeah, time frustration, great indicator, something else happened in the market. Sure, yeah. So what are some of the fears that we have to overcome? These may not come to your head when you're thinking about a new strategy, when you're thinking about a new trade room, when you're thinking about getting education. You may not be thinking these things, but subliminally, you probably are. It's going to be time. It's going to be difficult. It's time consuming. Going to take a long time to succeed. Won't work for me. It won't be sustainable. I want to get a new trade room. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be time consuming. I want to learn a new strategy. It's going to be difficult, time consuming. Where does this stuff come from? This stuff comes from past failures. Past failures. Because we have tried and we have failed. But failure can only be measured as when you are willing to give up. Once you are willing to give up, then you can call yourself a failure. Now, everybody fails from time to time. Everybody. The greatest of the greatest of the greats, they've all failed at something at some time or another. You just don't always hear about those things because all you see is the success, 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 right? You don't see the failures. You don't see the hard work that goes into it. You don't see how many times they fall flat on their face before they finally get it. The same is true of trading. You won't see the great traders talk about how many times they fell flat on their face before they finally got to the money. Usually it looks like a roller coaster. Made some money, woohoo, lost money, made some money, woohoo, lost some money. Oh, I got a new strategy. Nope, that didn't work. Oh, I got this new thing. Now that didn't work. Well, and it just goes on and on and on. So how do we make this stop? How do we make this turn into this? Right? That's what we want. Up and to the right. How do we do that? We're going to take a look at that today. Okay. So if that's you, give me a thumbs up. Give me a hell yeah, let's go. Give me a all right, let's do this. This event is for you. This event is for traders who are sick of going sideways, that want to go up, that want to move up. Yeah, sorry. I think this one is for the messages. I think it only lets you type it to the panelists and hosts. They said it that way and I just haven't changed it. So it is what it is. But yeah, that's why we're here, right? So let's go into it. So before I do anything, it's important for us to lead with performance. Now, we've got, I don't know, about an hour scheduled. We probably hit about that in these events, but you should probably not listen to the next 45 minutes unless I can show you real performance. Why would you listen? I'm not talking about a handful of 10 trades or, oh my gosh, look at this trade and this chart. Isn't that a pretty trade? We're going to do that. Don't get me wrong. But you need to be able to see a number of trades that show a positive impact over the course of many trades, right? So if you are second guessing your trades, we have live trade rooms that trade the markets live in front of everybody, hundreds of traders in the room, and we track all of our performance. The reason we do that is for transparency, because nobody should believe us if we say, hey, this strategy really hits. All right, well, show me. Well, here's what it does. Okay, I don't want to just see back tests. I want to see real trading, right? So let's look at real trading. I've got two logs pulled up here. These are live to the moment, right? We've got in stocks. Anybody here day trade stocks? If you don't, there's some really great opportunity there, actually. And there are funding companies now that will fund traders for day trading stocks, which is great because you got to have 25 grand in order to day trade stocks. So why not get funded for that? So we've got, really, it's these two setups is what we're trading. Obviously, vastly more than the rest of them, which 127 trades across the rest. And these combined are 961 trades. That's a lot of trades. So we have logged 961 trades with an average win rate of about 74% on these trading strategies. So how do we know they work? Well, those numbers don't vary. They stay the same. Now, granted, we've got a ton of history on these at this point. But if we look at month to month, okay, 74, 70, 84 had a good month, 81, 78. So it's pretty steady though. Really what we want to see is ideally less than a 10% variance. If the average is 74, I'm sorry, you can't see that. If the average is 74%, we don't want to deviate less than 10% either way. Obviously 64 to 84, that's the extreme. Ideally, we'd love to be 69 to, 79, which would be a 5% variance. But some months are good, some months aren't, it's how it goes. So, but over a month to month, we should still be profitable each month, or at least breaking even, my gosh. But here we can see we've got some good numbers month to month. Obviously, April not yet done. These trades are going to be a little less than a 1-to-1 risk reward. Okay, so what does that mean? So that means if you risk $1 on each trade, you're going to make anywhere from 50 cents to $1 on these trades. Now, this one is, really a numbers game. It's all about get as many trades as you can, manage your risk, and get paid. That's their process. That's what works for them in the stocks room. And I can tell you there are a lot of traders in there that are doing well. So it works. But more importantly, you can really, it's very consistent. Okay. Now, futures. Let's talk about futures and Forex. So we trade a little bit of both, mostly futures. Most of these trades are going to be futures trades. We do trade some Forex if if it's really setting up and it's really clean. Sometimes I'll grab the Forex trade. But mostly it's futures. We've got, in this case, a number of different strategies we trade. With stocks, there's 8,000 different stocks you can trade. Well, in futures, we don't really have that luxury. We don't have 8,000. We have like 8. So for us, it's more about multiple strategies on those markets to make the most of the situation. So currently, we are trading this strategy, this one, and this one. These two are my favorite. Why? Well, look at the win rates. I mean, it's pretty easy to tell which are the favorites. They're clean. They're usually, I mean, nothing's 100%, obviously, but these are pretty clean. So we've got, over the, again, consistency is a factor, 76, 74, 74, 64, 64. Screw you, January is a short month. February, March, April, right? So consistent. Now, with these win rates, the blended win rate across the trades is 69%, almost 70. But what about these? These are 1-to-1 risk reward. So what does that mean? That means you risk $1, you make $1. So clearly in that environment, our win rate has to be, pretty solid. It has to be, my gosh, less than 60% is really not going to cut it. But we shoot for about 66% plus is what we're looking for. So that means you're hitting 2 out of 3 trades, which would be the same. You often hear, well, if you're 50% winners, but your winners are twice as big as your losers, you're 2-to-1. This is exactly the same as this. They both have a 2.0 profit factor, right? Because on your wins, if you've got 2 trades, you made $2, you lost 1, you're left with 1. Okay. On this one, you made, if you're 2 out of 3, then you made $2, you lost 1, you're left with 1. It's a 2-point profit factor, right? So all that said, if you can maintain a 66% or better win rate, then you're going to have a 2.0 profit factor, meaning over the long run, you risk $1, you make $2 back. Okay. Makes sense. This month's going well. We've got half the month left, but so far so good. We've got a good number of wins in here, right? So, and there's how many trades? 523 trades logged. Again, it's to show that, we're not perfect. We're very good, but not perfect. But we'll be the first to tell you, here's a good expectancy of if you come in and trade with us, that's what you're going to see from us. So it's solid, it's consistent, and so there you go. So we always like to lead with real transparency, real performance. I think that's important in this environment. We've all seen things that look amazing, and then you go to do them, and you're like, it wasn't so great, right? All right, moving on. What about lack of belief? Anybody have a lack of belief in your system and your ability to produce profit? Many traders do. It's a common thing. Our solution for that, we have 3 calls that we're going to do with our students. The first call is geared toward really kind of carving out your path. What do you need to study? What do you want to learn? What's your preference as a trader? In other words, who are you? Who are you as a trader? What do you like? What do you not like? What are you good at? What are you not good at? And then risk. We're going to cover risk. How much do you risk per trade? How many trades can you take as a loser in a day? How many trades can you take as a winner in a day? When do you stop? When do you keep going? When do you size down? When do you size up? Do you scale in? Do you scale out? All these type of things. We go over those type of things. It really comes down to most of our traders are trading for prop firms and want to pass the prop firm, but more importantly, they want to keep their account. That is the most important thing in a prop firm environment. Keep your account, because if you can't keep your account, you ain't getting paid. It's that simple. So how do we keep the account over the long run? We cover that together. Then we go into scaling. Once you have passed the eval, you've gotten funded, you're in a funded environment, you're doing well, how do you now scale that account to where you can trade multiple accounts and you can scale into some serious money? We have traders that make all sorts of different amounts of money, and we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. But we got you covered there one-on-one. This is one-on-one with a senior instructor. All of the people on our team have been trading, gosh, 15 years plus. Okay, so we can help you. Rules-based trading. This is one of the most important factors to what we do. Why? Because we are emotional. We already talked about fear, greed, fear of missing out. By the way, all of these are fear. Revenge, over trading, all of that is fear. Maybe anger. We could get angry at the market. Nobody here has ever revenge traded, right? I'm sure nobody here has ever done that. Of course, we all have. All right. Nobody here has ever overtraded. Some of you are like, man, I traded 20 trades today. You got 500 trades on that log over 6 months. I took that in 1 month. Stop trading so much. So how do we avoid that? Well, we need rules. So if you don't have a plan, you're not going to follow it. How could you? If it's in your head and it's not written down, guess what? You're going to break the rules. 100% guaranteed you will break the rules. It's just a matter of time. If you have a plan, you're still probably going to break the rules from time to time, but you're less likely to, more likely to follow a plan. What's important with this? It has to be step by step, all broken down, 100% rules based as much as possible. And it has to be easy to follow. If it's super complicated, you're not going to follow it because you can't understand it. So how could you follow it? It needs to be straight to the point. So we give out these cheat sheets to our members. They're going to give you all the details, exactly when to get in, exactly when to get out, where to get in, arrows, examples, charts, the whole thing. What chart are you trading on? What indicators do you need? What's your higher time frame? What's your smaller time frame? How do you determine directional bias? There are 3 things you need in every trading strategy. Direction. Here's the best way to, this is the way I remember it. Right time, right place, right direction. Those are the 3 things you need for every trade. You need to be there at the right time, you need to be in the right place, trade in the right direction, right? So place equals location. Time equals kind of location, but time. Direction equals direction. So how do we determine direction? Well, that's in the rules. How do we determine the location? Well, that's in the rules. How do we determine when we get in? Well, that's in the rules. All of this stuff is broken down for you. More importantly, where do you get out? Some traders are really good at getting in, but they have no idea how to get out of the trade. Well, do I let it run? Or do I take profit? Do I move my stop to break even? Do I, move my stop down because I'm a new trader and I don't want to lose, so I move my stop down and I take a bigger loss? And by the way, don't ever do that. That is a surefire way to lose your account. I promise you will lose your account if you do that. So where do you get out? That's equally as important. And, every trader does it a little bit differently. Some scale out. Some are all in and all out, like me. I'm all in, all out. Some like to leave runners on. Some like to just, get out of the trade. So it really depends on what you're trying to do. I'm going to give you a big hint here, though. If you're trading a prop firm, there's a time to leave runners on. That is after you have gotten paid. That is number one, most important, because you're paying them, so you need to get paid. And then once you've gotten paid and you have a buffer, in other words, you're no longer at risk of the max drawdown, which let's just assume for a second it's 2,500. So if you have built up, if your max drawdown is 2,500 and you're on a funded account and you have $5,000 in your account as as gains, what is your max drawdown at that point? Who can answer me that? If you have 5,000 in profits in your account, what is your max drawdown? Somebody type it in the chat box. So Tim says 2,500. Anybody else? 7,500? This is good. Good. We're going to learn something today. Your drawdown's 5,000. There's 5,000. Because as soon as you get over 2,500, it's usually 2,600. is enough so that you can get paid. But once you get to that threshold, your drawdown, your low limit is the original balance. It's zero. They don't care if you make $10,000 and you don't take money out and you give it all back. Sorry, dude. You got to start all over in an eval and you have no money. Now, let me tell you how much that would suck. So take some money out, get yourself paid, then build the buffer, then scale. And we go through this stuff with you too. But rules-based, the whole point of rules is you don't have to second guess. Where does fear come from? I don't know what to do, therefore I'm afraid. It's the deer in the headlights. The deer is going, oh crap, there's a car coming at me. I've never been in this situation before, therefore I don't know what to do. So how do we put ourselves in a situation where we've been there so many times we know exactly what to do? You're not going to send a sniper into battle who's never fired a gun before. They wouldn't send me. It wouldn't go well. I mean, I'd do okay, but not great. But you need somebody who's been there, done that, done it 1,000 times and cannot feel the pressure of the markets. How do you do that? You have a plan, you follow it over and over and over and over. And as you follow it, you get better and better as you go. The thing about trading is you never really arrive. There are traders in our community that have been trading for 30 years and they're still learning. So you never stop learning. You never stop getting better. At least you shouldn't, because why would you not want to get better, right? What about sick of losing? Anybody sick of blowing out evals, sick of blowing out your accounts? How many of you have been funded and lost the funded account? Anybody here been in that scenario? A lot more these days since they're making it a little easier to pass, right? Now it's like the eval. They might as well just get rid of the eval and just charge people for the account. But they won't because they make so much money on the evals. But if you're sick of not making money blowing out eval, excuse me one second. If you're sick of not making money, we can help you. We have multiple winning strategies. We just showed you. There's about 4 that we trade in our trade room and then 2 in the stocks room. Multiple trade rooms. We trade futures mostly, stocks mostly, a little bit of Forex, and every once in a while we'll look at crypto for anybody who's interested. But multiple different winning strategies. The idea behind that is, well, one week, our CWAP strategy might be incredible one week. And it might just be nailing it, just killing the market. We may go, let's just say 10 for 10. We'll be a little kind to ourselves. And then we have a VWAP trade. We'll go through what these are, but we have a VWAP trade, and that trade, might be 5 of 10, right? Might not be as good, might even break even. Like 5 of 10 is going to be break even. But over the course of all those trades, we're 15 of 20, which is going to be good for, 75%, which is great. So, yeah, so I mean, that's what it's about. The more you have in your basket, and you don't have to put all your eggs in one basket, you don't have the ups and downs, you have more steady consistency, right? All these things become a factor. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to shut up. I'm going to mute my mic, and I'm going to play this video and share my sound. These are just a couple clips from our live trade room, just to give you a glimpse of what it looks like. So I'm going to mute my mic and share this with you, and then I'll come right back. Okay, so we've got a VWAP set up here on the breakout. So let's measure this out. Like that. Trade this on a different account. Let's do that one. So we got 21 by 23. And we'll sell right here. Okay. So the CWAP on crude that we're looking at here, that is not a valid CWAP trade because it never broke structure. Also trading into an order block and trading into VWAP. Now, if we're trading into VWAP, that's not necessarily a concern for me. but trading into an order block is. Order blocks are very, very strong liquidity, can move the markets. And so definitely want to pay attention to those. Okay, so we came pretty close. We tagged it, but didn't get the follow through. I'm going to bump this up one tick to 85. There it goes. Good. So we got the VWAP trade. It's great that we had the confluence with the order block here. So that's great. All right, so let's break down this trade. I want to just kind of go through this real quick. So what we have here is on the 5-minute chart, we can see there's a low, there's the high, right? So once we break out of that, that's what we look at for order blocks. Anybody here familiar with order blocks, SMC concepts? Anybody here study that stuff? We have a really great course built out on market structure and smart money concepts, and then liquidity. And really what it boils down to is how does the market move and why and where? All those things are broken down in that course, and it is very, very detailed. But it's quick. You can go through it quickly, but very detailed, very deep, and more importantly, you guessed it, rules-based, because I don't want subjectivity when I'm trying to figure out where does this line go and how do I plot my waves? No, zero subjectivity. We have rules built around where to do this, when to do this, how to do it, all of that. So, so looking at this chart, I'll just kind of break this down. I realize you have no idea what we're looking at here. So this is a 30-minute chart, and then we have a 5-minute chart. This is on micro crude. Okay, so which direction is the 30-minute chart? Is it going up or is it going down? All right, it's going down. We can clearly see that. Breaking the lows, market's making new lows. So we are bearish on the higher time frame. So would it probably make sense to look for bearish trades, right? Looking to go short. Then we look at, so that is direction. Then we look at location. Where do we want to do business? Well, there's two factors. We have an order block here, and we have our daily VWAP here. You guys familiar with VWAPs? I've heard that one before, volume profiles, VWAPs. So we trade out of a VWAP channel. This one just so happened to have confluence coming out of an order block, so that worked to our advantage. Really, it's kind of two strategies in one. Now, on the 5-minute, though, you can see what's happening here. We've got an inside move, then it kind of came down, then up, down, and then it broke. So technically, we have an inside break of structure here because we broke this pivot right there. Notice how the market stalled out at the lows. That's a pretty clear sign that the market's rotating, came out, broke this level. So now the question is, where's the market going to stop? I don't want to have to stop the market or just guess. I want to know based on the probability, not possibility, right? I trade probabilities, not possibilities. So the market came in, we traded the breakout coming out. This was our confirmation that this is a valid setup coming out of VWAP. So the reality is that's just the behind the scenes stuff. What you need to know is higher time frames down. We came into VWAP. Watch this. I'm going to show you how easy this is. See how it made a lower low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, break. That's the trade. Want to see a series of at least a couple higher lows, ideally, and then a break. As soon as we get that break, we're in the trade, intra-bar. We trade it 1-to-1. That's it. That's the trade. Coming out of a VWAP channel. How do you set a channel? The standard deviations. They're 0.5s. 0.5 deviation on the VWAP. That's how it goes. 30-minute chart is ES and both are CL. Oh, it is ES. Whoops. I forgot to change it on the screen. But you could see the higher time frame stuff too based on this break of structure line. So good catch, Ed. I'm not sure how to say the name, but bravo. Bravo, bravo. All right. So no, ideally it would be obviously CL. Let's look at another one, and we will pay no attention to the higher time frame because it's set to NQ. So here we go. Let's check this one out. Cool. I like that one. All right, so let's break this one down. So these are both NQ. So this one's NQ, and then this one is NQ, micros. Okay. A lot of traders trade the micro NQ. So what direction is a higher time frame? It's bullish. How do we know that? Because it broke through that pivot, made a higher high. So it's bullish. What about the shorter time frame, 5 minute? It's bullish. Broke as well. So what do we do here? Anybody ever trade with anchored VWAPs? Whereas instead of it being anchored based on the entire day, it's anchored wherever you want to anchor it. We anchored it here. And again, we have rules on where to anchor these, but this creates a VWAP that's anchored, and we just trade the edge of the channel and 1-to-1 back into the highs. Simple. Now, there's a little bit more involved, but we can teach you that stuff. So these are a couple trades that we trade pretty regularly in our room. Good stuff, right? All right, what about any of you kind of lost family support, family, friends? They're kind of, they're at the point where they're doing naysayers, kind of, saying, well, why are you still doing that trading stuff? Oh my gosh, you want to spend more money on trading? You've already spent a ton of money. Well, look, I get it. Rome wasn't built in a day. And you get caught in this difficult spot where you've spent money, but you haven't made money. So you have a choice. Do you either give up the money that you spent and say, forget it, I'm out? Or do you spend a little more money to try to actually make money to get the money? Now, I will tell you, the money that you spent is gone. Okay, the money that you've lost in the market is gone. Don't try to get it back. It's gone. Just let it go. That money's gone. What we need to focus on is how do we make money based on what you have today? That's what we're focused on. Eventually, what's going to happen is as you let go of the money that you've lost, your mindset is going to shift. You're going to have more clarity. You're going to be able to trade better. And then moving forward, what's going to happen is you're going to make enough money that it's not going to matter what you spent because you're going to make more. Okay. So that's a difficult spot to be in. I've been there. Totally understand that one. That's a tough one for a lot of traders. But if you've lost the family support or you're at the end of your rope and you're like, it's now or never, I need to figure this out. What I can tell you is that we have a great community. We all support each other. We've got private chat rooms. This is only where the best traders come to. This isn't open to everybody where you get a bunch of trolls that are, giving you a hard time. This is members. We're in it to win it. We're all in this together. So yeah, if you're struggling with that, we've got a positive community that can encourage you. There are traders making money in our community. Some of them make a lot of money. Okay, so it is possible. Used to trade with VWAP using SDV. Cool. Yeah. SDV is great. Yep, for sure. So what do you need to learn, right? So this is the trouble for a lot of traders too, is you go on YouTube and you find this concept. You're like, oh my gosh, this is great. I've heard about this smart money concepts because I watched 10 YouTube videos on the subject. I still have no idea how to trade it, but you've been exposed to it, right? We want to take what is the concept of what is given to you on YouTube is usually this, a sliver of everything that you need in order to trade that strategy, partially because they don't have time and partially because, look, they want to make money. That is designed to be a teaser and it's designed to get you to buy it. And then you buy it and you find out, okay, this is what they put on YouTube, but they really only gave you this if you bought it. That's a problem. So how do we get the full big picture? Well, you need to know a little bit. You need to know the foundations, bottom line. You need to know structure, waves, smart money concepts, multi-time frame analysis, liquidity, order flow, price action, support resistance, trend lines, supply, demand, and order blocks. Trade management, because if you can't manage the money, then you're not going to make any. And if you can't manage yourself, then you can't manage the money. So psychology, discipline, trader development, this is a very, very big concept that we need to learn. These are the foundations of trading. You could throw momentum and divergence kind of into price action, but that's everything you need to know and nothing that you don't. That's the way we've designed this. Everything you need to know, nothing that you don't. More importantly, fast track. I don't want you to have to take forever to learn this stuff. I want you to be able to go in, watch some videos, get the concept, and then we take over with live strategy classes so that you can see it again in action. You can ask questions in a small group setting. That is the best of both worlds. You get on demand, so you can get exposed to it, learn it, take some notes. Then you come in live, and we're going to teach it to you in person as well. Good stuff. What about getting funded? Not everybody has 10, 25, 50, 100 grand laying around to trade with. That's where the funding companies come in. So if you don't have capital to trade with, we can help you. We have partners that we've worked with. Tick, Apex are probably some of the bigger ones. Top Step is a big one. Those probably get most of our referrals. Trade Funder as well. We send more traders to prop firms than anybody else out there as an academy. Tons of traders have gotten funded with prop firms, and we work with a lot of them. So we can help you get connected there. By the way, all of our education is prop funding focused because most of our traders are trading for prop firms or want to. Now, if you're trading your own money, that's fine too, because if you could trade for a prop firm, you could trade your own money. You can learn that discipline, and then you'll be even better at trading your own money. What about time and effort, not getting ahead? Hours of endless screen time, endless studying. You feel like I learned this new strategy, it doesn't work. Learn a new strategy, doesn't work. Learn another new strategy, doesn't work. I've been there too. Sucks. So how do we help you there? We talked about everything you need to learn, right? Well, does that mean that you need to know everything in order to be able to trade these strategies? No, you do not need to know everything. What you need to be able to do is see that the entry goes here, the stop goes here, and the target goes here. That's it. That's all you need to be able to see. It's on our screen live when we're trading. We have a trade. We're going long. Entry 74.10, 18 ticks, stops and targets. They're always 1-to-1. 74.10, 18 ticks. By the way, too, this is telling me how many contracts to trade. 28 contracts to hit $500 risk. So if you want to trade for $100 risk, divide it by 5. Simple. What about cynical? Anybody have cynicism? Anybody ever seen the emails coming from the prop firms? Oh, Johnny in New York made 30 grand. Good for him. Larry in the UK made 50 grand. No, he didn't. Larry's full of crap. Right. You get cynical of other success. You get maybe the disbelief. You start to get a negative outlook. If you're struggling as a trader, that does not mean that other traders, not everybody, are struggling. Lots of traders are struggling. Totally with you there. Trading is friggin' hard. Of course, there's a lot of traders that struggle. How do we help them? That's what we're after, right? But if you're cynical, we have different certificates that we can make them up for you. If you are a consistently profitable trader and you're making money, you're making 5 grand a month, great. We're going to give you a certificate that shows that everybody that you've done it, you've accomplished it, you've been there, done that. What if you're making 10 grand a month? What if you're making 50 grand a month? This is the part where I get to tell you about what our traders are making here. We have traders that make $100 a day. We have traders that make $500 a day. We have traders that make $1,000 a day. Traders that make $2,500 a day. We have traders that make $5,000 a day. We have traders that make $10,000 a day. And we have traders that make $20,000 a day. And everything in between. So that's what I have seen in our community. Now, who here wants to make 20 grand in a day? I do. Does it happen overnight? No. I'm just going to be very, very clear about that. You don't start making 20 grand a day until you can start making 100 grand a day. You notice why I did this? Then you get to 500, then you get to 1,000, then you get to 2,500. You don't go from this to that overnight. Start with making money every day. Get used to it. Then you get used to making more. Then you get used to making more. There is a lot of money to be made in this industry. There's also a lot of money to be lost. So if you're serious about it and you want to learn, we can help you. We've helped a lot of traders. So How many of you are with me so far? I feel like this is sounding pretty good. Sounding pretty good so far. Seems like what I'm looking for. I've been looking for a community. I've been looking for a trade room where I could copy the trades. Been looking for some education so I can learn the setups. I've been looking for something that's rules-based so that I don't have to have guesswork. I can get into the market, get out of the market exactly when I'm supposed to. And I can get one-on-one coaching, which really doesn't exist unless you pay a gobs of money. Pretty sweet, right? So let's recap. Private chat rooms, intro courses, foundations courses on demand, price action. Yes, you can absolutely copy the trades and trade for prop firms. Yeah, 100%. They will be happy that you did. Because as a hint, they make money when you make money, right? They also make money when you don't make money. So figure that one out. All right. So we won't get into all that. Price action, smart money concepts course. I am very proud of this course. Very proud. I went through a lot of different smart money concepts. It's not something that we've created, right? It's out there. A lot of traders trade it. They trade it differently. What I didn't like was the instructors would be like, okay, there's a boss break here, and okay, there's a boss break there, and then there's this. Okay, this is internal. Okay, this is, all right. And then we broke here. Okay, that's a break of structure, and then that one's not a break of structure. And I'm like, where's the rules? How do I know when to draw the line going this way? And more importantly, when do I know when to draw it coming down? When do I know how to draw it up? This is 100% rules-based. No guessing. You will learn exactly when to go down, when to go up, when to do this, when to trade the break of structure, what's an internal boss, all of it. It's all in there, and it's all rules-based. Mastery level course. Very, very good stuff. Liquidity and levels, supply and demand. I heard someone mentioned it here. Order blocks, fair value gaps. You ever wonder why you're like, market's going up and you're feeling great and your target's here and it gets to this and it just slams back down and you didn't make any money? Anybody ever wonder why that happens? It has to do with liquidity. Liquidity is what moves the market. It's what shifts the momentum in the market. Momentum. We'll just call it Momo. It's what shifts the market. Liquidity, you need to know that stuff because it'll keep you in the right spot, right time. The reason I got out of that trade today was because of liquidity. And I just said, I'm going to not push my agenda on the market. I'm going to take what the market's giving me. That's what I did. So market wanted to give me more. And I said, no, not today, market. Nope, can't give me any more. I'm not open to that. Now it's just how it goes sometimes. Strategy courses on indicators, algos, day trading, swing trading, all of the above. We've got you covered. Multiple live trade rooms, mostly stocks, futures. Total value, $12,465. This is not a pie in the sky number. This is real stuff. Traders spend this much and more to get this type of stuff. Absolutely, they do. Do you have to spend that with us? Nope. Not even close, which is great. Lots of reviews. I don't know what it is now. This is, I don't know, it's from December or something like that. But over 1,000 reviews, 4.5 stars. It's important. We don't get these ratings unless we're taking care of traders. That's what it comes down to. Are we supporting our traders? Are we doing what we said we were going to do, or are we full of crap? If we're full of crap, we're not getting that rating. So I guess they like us. So it's good. We're supporting our traders. We're taking care of them. We're helping them. We're helping them grow. Now on to the bonuses. Pre-built workspaces. If I have the workspace, it's yours. NinjaTrader, TC2000, trade ideas. We've got scanners built out for stocks. We'll give them to you. Should you decide to join, they're yours and are included. Instructor trade plan review. This one's really cool. Once your trade plan's ready, send it to me. I will review it with you. I will let you know this is missing, that's missing, that you need to change this. This looks good, this doesn't. Now, you don't have to listen to anything I say, but but you might want to. But we will review your strategy for you, and we'll make sure it's a complete plan. We talked about, before, there's only like, you get the sliver. No, we don't want a sliver. We want a complete whole trade plan that's going to make money consistently. No guesswork. Rules-based trading plans and cheat sheets, they're included. We've got like a dozen of them. They're all written out. They're all easy to follow. All the rules are there. Okay. Onboarding. We're going to help you install indicators, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. But this will help you kind of welcome you, get you set up, figure out what you need to focus on, and then we'll also install indicators for you because we have indicators included, which is coming up here soon. This is, to me, this is the most valuable. This and the trade room are the most valuable, in my opinion. Inner circle strategy class. So we cover foundations. This is pillar one: structure, momentum, divergence, all the stuff we talked about. Remember, everything you need to know, nothing that you don't. Advanced stuff, it's pillar two: psychology, money management. How do you stay funded? How do you map out your charts? Okay. And then pillar three is strategy. We go through the cheat sheets together. Like if we looked at the VWAP trade, right? We go through the VWAP trade top to bottom. We cover everything you need to know, and then we cover the charts together. We go through trade after trade after trade. We go through all that. So this is our weekly class. We do these normally on Wednesday, every Wednesday at 1 p.m. This week we're not doing it. We're doing it Friday instead. But yeah, we do this once a week. These classes are about 90 minutes, so they're not quick. About 90 minutes. They're very, very deep. It's funny, we did, for example, I use this one as an example, market structure. It seems like an easy concept, right? Market goes up, there's a break of structure, goes down, there's a break of structure. You've got your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Most traders know that stuff, but there's a lot more to market structure than you thought. And we spent well over 90 minutes covering it, and we were not going slow. Like, there's a lot to learn on this stuff. And so our goal is to teach you everything you could want to know about the subject. And then you can go through it a couple times if you need to. But the way you know it's enough is if you have enough in one class per week, then you know that the content's good. So no bots on the program. However, fair question. However, you do get access to all of our indicators. There are 55 plus indicators that do everything from supply and demand to a really great order flow suite to market structure, order blocks, you name it, trend lines, oscillators, momentum divergence, right? Automated divergence, everything. We've got you covered. All the indicators are included. The algos are not included. Okay, algos are separate. We don't trade algos in this program. We trade 100% manually. But I know a lot of our traders love the algos. So hint, hint, if you join, I'm sure we could work something out. Okay. That sounds like you're going to get all the algos you want. I just want to be clear. You're not getting algos as part of the program, but we like to give deals here and there and sweeten the pot as needed. Okay. Hint, wink, wink. All right. It is good to have both. I think so. It is good to have both. All right. 3 calls, 3 private one-on-one calls with an instructor. This stuff gets very expensive. A one-on-one call with a senior instructor is not cheap, not anywhere. You get 3 of them. So we can, whatever you want to cover, you want to talk about risk or scaling or trade plans, or you want to look at the charts, you want to break down your trades, you want to look at what's working, what's not. Whatever you want, a dealer's choice. You can cover whatever you want to, but you get three calls and they're 1 hour. So pretty cool. We're very glad to be able to offer that. So the total of the bonuses is valued at $13,500. Now, if you ask me, the weekly class ain't worth that. It's worth a whole lot more. That class, with the content that we're covering, you ask me, the value is $7,500. If all we sold was that, we would get good money for it. It's really, really good stuff. So, but you get a lot more than that. So anyway, total value 26,000. Again, there are traders who have spent more and gotten less. It happens all the time, sadly, but we are of the mindset we want to give you access to everything you could ever want to know, everything you could ever want to have in order to trade. We're going to give you all of it. You're not going to use all of it, obviously. Yeah, I don't even use all of it. I know it, but I don't use it all. You don't need to know it all. What you need to do is be able to come to the trade room, copy the trades. Okay? Then you learn the setups, and you learn the foundations. Okay. You're doing that while you are copying the trades. Why? So that you can make money. You don't have to know everything to make money, right? So, yeah, this is all recorded, guys. We'll send out the recording. Yeah, no worries. Absolutely. What if it doesn't work for me? Remember, we looked at it's going to be hard, it's going to be time consuming, it's not going to work, right? Those were the fears. How do we overcome those fears? Look, you join the program, you do the work, you show up, you do the education, you participate in the strategy class, you complete your instructor calls, and you ask for help, and you submit your trade plan. If you do those things, we're telling you, you're going to love this program, not like it. You're going to absolutely love it. Why? Because our other traders love it. Do you think anybody's ever told me, man, I'm so disappointed I joined this program? It hasn't happened yet. I mean, well, there was that one guy, but he don't count. No, here's the deal, guys. Most of the time, everybody says, I am so glad I joined this program. And if they're not glad, you think they don't tell us? Of course they tell us. But here's the deal. If you do those things and you don't like it, we're going to give you your money back in full. And we're going to give you a $500 credit to spend with our companies just for saying, man, sorry we wasted your time. There's a little bit extra on us. Okay. Who does that? Nobody. We do it. So we're guaranteeing, it's the only thing we can guarantee, that if you show up and you do the work, you're going to see progress. What that looks like, I can't guarantee that. That's up to you, but we can help you. More importantly, we got your back. Yeah, mostly futures. Most of our traders are trading futures, I should say, but there's actually two programs in one. So we have a stocks and options program. By the way, don't tell anybody, but these programs used to be separate, and they used to buy them separate. Now we combined them. Futures, Forex, crypto. It's two programs in one. And the approach to stocks and options is, for the most part, different. Not entirely, but for the most part, it's different than futures, Forex, crypto. They're different markets. So we have two programs that you get access to. So when we talk about foundations, there's foundations for futures, there's foundations for stocks. When we talk about the live class, there's a class for futures, Forex, there's a class for stocks. You want to learn how to trade options, we've got a course built out for that. You want to learn a new asset class, we've got 101 courses. When we say it's everything, it's like everything. Yeah, you get everything. So whereas with other companies, you have to spend a lot of money to add an extra asset class, we don't do that. Okay, you get access to everything. This is for serious traders. If you want to do this, let's jump on board. And so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to run a poll. I want to know how many of you are interested. It just helps us gauge how busy we're going to be, how much time we need to spend with everybody, and so on. But what we do is we go through all the details, well, not all the details, but whatever you want to know about the course and about our academy. We want to spend time with you. We want to get to know you. Trading is a lonely business. We don't want you to have to feel like you're alone in this. We don't want this to be, you buy this, okay, go get them, kid, you're on your own. Like, that's not how this works. It's very involved, and we want to be involved with you in that process. So if you're interested, let us know so we can follow up with you. If you have questions, we can follow up with you, right? If you want to book a call with our team, that's how we do it, really, is we'll reach out to you. We'll either, set up a quick call, or we'll book some time to go over everything that you want to cover. We want to make sure it's a good fit. And then we're going to offer discounts, and we'll go over pricing, and we'll make sure we get you a good deal and make it work as much as we can. So let us know where you're at, and we'll have our team follow up with you and go over next steps, all that. Cool. Good stuff. Anybody have any questions? Any questions that you need answered? I'm going to also give you a link so that you can book a call directly should you decide to just go ahead and do that. So No, 26,000 is just the value, guys. Yeah, you don't have to pay anywhere near that to join. Yeah, not anywhere near that. We're going to give you way better pricing, obviously. That's just to demonstrate value. You know, it's like that's the value. That's not even the retail. Like retail's less than that too. So we got you covered. Yeah. Let me see here. Let's go to this. I'm going to give you a link. Copy this link. Okay, so this link will give you a chance to book time with our team directly. Otherwise, we'll follow up with you either way, and we'll look at scheduling something with you. Yeah, so good stuff. So that is that's the deal. That's the story. Hopefully, how many of you got something out of that? Learned hopefully a few things. I always like to try to throw a few things out that are educational and not just tell you about a program, but give you something that you can use in your trading. And you might pick up a thing or two here and there. How many of you want to look at a trading strategy together while we're at it? So, I mean, you sit through these events, I always try to give something back, right? I appreciate your time. I know time is hard to come by. And so I just want to make it worth your while. Okay, so let's look at a couple trades here. Probably one of the easier trades that we trade. This is the VWAP trade. Okay, so VWAP stands for volume weighted average price. And it's based on a daily profile, daily volume profile. Okay. So it resets each day and it just trails the market based on, think of it like a moving average, but it's tied to volume. Okay. So it's volume based. So what did the market do here? Well, it came all the way up and then it had a deep pullback off the open. This is, Eastern time. And excuse me, came all the way down and broke through the structure, but then kind of stayed inside and then kind of got stalled out at the highs. Anyway, what we're looking for is the market came into VWAP. Now, these are set to 0.5 deviations on VWAP, 0.5. So what we want to see is, like I said, we've got our pivot candle here. How do we know it's pivot? Because it's higher high on the candle. Lower high, 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 inside bar, lower high, break. That's our signal to get in. As soon as it breaks, we are in the trade, going long, out of the channel. Stop goes below the low. Target there. And that's the trade. You can see it on the charts. Got in here. Got out there. Pretty easy, right? Pretty simple. Nothing too complicated. There's a couple other factors in here. We're looking at higher time frames for directional confirmations and stuff. And then comes down to this is a 9 and a 20, by the way, on the EMAs. So that's a 9, that's a 20. I want the EMAs to be above the VWAP in order to trade long. If the EMAs are below VWAP, then I'm looking for shorts. Yeah. Stop is usually it's kind of dynamic on these trades. The way that I do this is I'll set the stop to go below the low with a buffer. In this case, it was right here because I trade 1-to-1. So yeah, I swing the stop below the low. I give myself a buffer on the zone. The zone, kind of think of it like this was the entry zone. I want to wait till it breaks through a little bit before I get in, give myself a little room, and then stop goes below the low of the zone. So yeah, let's look at one more. I think I got one more in here. Yeah, it was like 22 ticks. That's probably we trade 4 different markets, by the way, guys. We trade MCL regularly, M2K, which is RTY. We trade MNQ and MES. So those are our 4 markets that we trade pretty dominantly. Every once in a while, we'll see something on 6E. I tried something on 6B. It didn't really work. I think I'll stick with 6E. Yeah, all micros except for the 6E. I don't like to trade this on a micro. I like to do the full size. I don't trade YM. Now, I used to. I never really got anywhere with it, to be honest. It was never a favorite market for me. These are the ones that were paying me, so I stuck with those. MGC, same thing. MGC is a wild card. MYM didn't really pay much for me. Yeah. NQ is the best for some things, not for everything. but a lot of things it's really great. So, so those are our main markets, but I will trade dollar pairs and euro pairs if they're really clean. And then those are the anchors. I'll trade Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar. I do not trade the yen. Yen is very, very manipulated. I'll trade the pound and then the Swiss. And I don't trade the New Zealand dollar either. Just the volume's a little lighter. Which am I missing any? I think that's everything. Euro dollar. Yeah, I think that's all of them. So those are the stuff that I'll trade. I'll look at anything though. Sometimes our traders will ask for Bitcoin futures, so we'll cover that. Or you want to cover like, let's say you want to cover, you know, Aussie pound Aussie. I don't even know what I assume that pound is the front one. But yeah, anything you want to cover, we cover all this stuff in the trade room. So we usually get trade room, by the way, I'll tell you that too. Trade room is 8:55 to 11:30. That's Eastern time, and it's Monday through Thursday. We take Fridays off so we can get other things done and get caught up. So those are the trade. That's the trade room for futures. Stocks is 8:30 to 11. They start a little earlier because they get more action on the pre-market than we do. So, yep. Good stuff. Oh, let's look at the other trade. Sorry, I got distracted. Is this a break even? This one's a break even. That's okay. We'll look at it anyway. So here's the setup, right? EMA's above the VWAP. VWAP is sloping up. Market is up. Don't need structure to be on my side for the shorter time frame, but I do for the higher time frame. I want to see the higher time frame, which is a 30-minute. Want to see that structure's on my side there. Doesn't need to be on the shorter time frame, but in that case, I just want to see it kind of kiss the edge, and then we've got pivot 1, 2, 3, break. You can see as it's breaking, this one got pretty close to target. Came back, I gave it one more shot, stalled out. I said, that's enough of that. I mean, by that point, gosh, that's like 12:30. We got into the trade at 10:45. That's a long time to be in a trade for us. So we bailed on it. This one, oops. We would have, I'll tell you exactly where we would have put it. I just use a Fibonacci tool that I've kind of retrofitted to be able to give me targets and stops and all that stuff. So this one, little slippage on the entry, and yeah, it didn't quite make it up to target, so I gave it another shot and it just fizzled, so we got out of it. But that's the VWAP trade. That's how it works. That's pretty much all there is to it. I don't see any other days on my chart here, so. But yeah, it's a great trading setup. It's worked well for us. I think we're hitting 70 to 75% of those trades. Call it at least 2 out of 3, usually. I mean, obviously it ebbs and flows, but yeah, good profit factor on that one. We're doing well, so good stuff. All right, well, I think we are good to go. We covered some good stuff. It felt like that was good. Thanks for your involvement. Thanks for being a part of it. Thanks for joining us, taking time out of your day. I know it's busy, and I know there's a lot of different outfits you can go and check out. So really appreciate you being here with us, and glad to have you. Those of you that reached out on the poll, we're going to reach out to you, and yeah, awesome. Thanks, Tim. Reach out and answer any questions you have, talk trading, and see what we can do to help you one way or another. So yeah. Good stuff, guys. All right. Well, have a fantastic rest of the week. We will see you back in the trade room with us, and we'll see you in the events, the appointments and such. We'll get a chance to chat more. So thanks, guys. Take care. Have a great rest of the week. We'll catch you soon.